In the market depicted in the diagram above, if the government imposes a price ceiling of $1 per gallon on gasoline, which of the following will result? So looking at this graph here, we can see that the y-axis represents price per gallon, and the x is the quantity of gasoline, and according to the question, the government imposes a price ceiling, which is essentially a price control that limits the price the supplier can set a good to. In this case, that price is $1. Therefore, the supplier cannot set a price above or that exceeds this line here, or which is along $1. Therefore, they will supply at this point here, because this is along the supply curve, and this is where the supply curve intersects this price curve. So we're asked what will follow as a result of this. So looking at this graph, we can clearly see that the supply curve, there will be a quantity of 6 billion gallons of gasoline produced, and that demand, however, is for 12 billion gallons of gasoline. But because demand exceeds the supply, there will be a shortage. A shortage is simply that there is more demand than supply. There's more demand for a good than there is a supply for a good. So in this case, the shortage is equal to 12 billion gallons minus these, which is the demand or quantity demanded for the good, and the quantity supplied for the good is 6 billion gallons. And we can see that the shortage is equal to 6 billion gallons. So let's look at the answer choices. Option choice A says a surplus of 6 billion gallons. This is incorrect, because a surplus means that the supply is greater than demand. But in this case, if we're looking at the graph, the demand is clearly greater than the supply, because the demand is further to the right than the supply, where the demand is for 12 billion gallons of gasoline, and supply is only 6 billion gallons. So there is no surplus in this case. B, a shortage of 6 billion gallons. This seems to be the correct answer because earlier we calculated that there must be a shortage, and in this case that shortage must be equal to 6 billion gallons. So overall, C seems to be the correct answer. B seems to be the correct answer. C, a surplus of 12 billion gallons. This is incorrect because, as before, we highlighted that there is no surplus in this case because demand is greater than supply. D, a shortage of 12 billion gallons. This is incorrect because, as we calculated before, the shortage is only equal to 6 billion gallons, which is the quantity demanded, 12 billion, minus the quantity supplied, 6 billion, which is, the result is 6 billion. So the shortage is equal to 6 billion, not 12 billion. Therefore, D is incorrect. Option choice E says neither a supply nor a shortage because the price ceiling would not be effective. This is incorrect because the price ceiling is effective, because for a price ceiling to be effective, it must be located below the equilibrium. In this case, the equilibrium is right here, which is the point where the supply and demand curves intersect. Because this price ceiling is located at $1, which is below the equilibrium price of $1.5, this price ceiling is effective. So E is incorrect. Therefore, the correct answer is B.